What can you tell us about Experimental Unison?
Oh, wow. That was my first ever band. Um, I was a senior in high school, and I had been playing like acoustic guitar with one of my friends, Justin, and we were just like, maybe we should start a band and get a couple guys, and so that's what we did, and it was pretty horrible. But we played a few shows. I think we played 3 shows, and we played a birthday party, and then we we graduated, and some people were wanting to do college, and others weren't really wanting to take it seriously, and I was pretty much the only one in the band who wanted to pursue music, and I am the only one who pursued music out of that. But yeah, it was my very first ever band.
And meanwhile, you're working as a school janitor.
I was before that, like probably, I'm trying to think of what grade I was in. Maybe 7th grade, 8th grade, freshman year, something like that. Before I could drive, I worked at my school as a janitor to help pay the school bill, and make a little bit extra cash. Yeah, that was a pretty bad job, to say the least.
When did you realize that the NBA wasn't for you?
I realized NBA wasn't for me. It was, I mean, I guess in the back of my mind, I probably assumed it was never going to happen, but when I got a scholarship to go play basketball, and I ended up turning down that school, and so the moment I decided I wasn't going to go there, I knew that I had no future with sports. But I mean, I still love sports to this day. I still play, and I enjoy it a lot. But yeah, it's probably 19 years old, and I was like, no, I'm just not gonna ever pursue this. And put all my eggs in one basket and started pursuing music full time.
And then you relocated to Oceanside.
Yeah, in March of 2007, or not March of 2007, sometime, May of 2007, I got in my car and I drove cross country from Ohio to California. And back in the MySpace days, I found that a band called In Fear and Faith was looking for a singer. I went, I drove down, I tried out, and a week later, I moved in with the guys, and we were a band and started touring and made a CD.
Did the Voyage EP?
Yep, did the Voyage EP in June, I think June or July of '07, and yeah, man. It's been a while. It's cool to talk about because nobody ever really asked me about anything before the Word Alive usually. So it's funny thinking back to those times. It's been like 5 years.
And not so long after, you ended up going to Arizona, playing bass for Greeley Estates.
Yep. Yeah. I had left In Fear and Faith, and I didn't really know what I was gonna do. But I was good friends with their manager. At that point, and he had me trying out for some different bands, and Greeley Estates were in town shooting a music video at the time, and we met up. I got along with them. I heard their new record. I thought it was awesome, and they pretty much sold me. They were like, you'll be able to sing a lot of these parts that are on the record. You'll be doing them live, and because singing was what I was passionate about, but I also played music, and I kind of wanted a challenge of doing something that I had never really done, and I thought it'd be fun, and it was. Playing with Greeley was some of the best times of my life.
Are there tour stories that stick out?
There are. In Toronto, we had flown one of our friends out, and we went to like these breweries, and we went to Toronto Blue Jays Stadium and got like a VIP escort around everywhere. He ended up, I'm not a heavy drinker by any means, but we all, and none of us were on tour especially, but we all ended up getting pretty drunk, ended up at some small dive bar that we basically got ran out of, and I those punching games where they have the limit and it pops down and it like tells you how hard you hit. I beat some like biker dude, and he was really pissed, and we were like jumping and kicking it, and we were having a great time, and we all ended up pissing off of a bridge. And
how high was the bridge?
Probably like 150 feet or so.
Wow.
And then we went back to our hotel room and we toilet papered our hotel room for no reason. We woke up with toilet paper everywhere and we were like, what happened? Why did we do that? But yeah, that was a good time. All of the tour was awesome. And that was back when I still was naive to a certain extent, and nothing really bad had ever happened. So I loved tour, and I loved being gone and on the road. So.
And then you ended up selling your bass.
Yep, sold all my bass equipment to not only pay to eat and live because I had no other money at that time, but in hopes of. I figured if I sold everything too, that it would kind of push me to just work that much harder at what I really wanted to do, which was singing. And that's kind of what happened. Zach had hit me up and been like, hey, we're looking for a singer. Do you want to try out? And I tried out, and the rest is just kind of fell into place and joined the band.
I did an interview in 2007 with Craig Mabbitt, a little bit before The Word Alive. When he was in Bless the Fall.
Yeah.
And one of the interesting things, he mentioned the Sean Kingston song Beautiful Girls. That's something that he expressed a lot of interest in. On the topic of mainstream artists, I know you're into 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah, I am. I like them a lot. They're one of my favorites. Was
the 30 Seconds to Mars, the Jared Leto, Kanye West collaboration, what inspired The Word Alive's Heartless?
That would have been cool if it did. It did not. Tony and Zach were trying out a bunch of different songs, and they were just trying to see which one fit us the most. And they would jam to the songs and see just how it felt, if it could feel like The Word Alive. And Heartless was the first song that they were like, this sounds awesome, we should do this song. And I think it was like the fourth or fifth song they tried. I don't even know the other ones that did try, because we pretty much put it on them like, if the music sounds really awesome, we'll make everything else sound awesome. So we're like, you guys make a great song and we'll fill in the blanks.
On the topic of mainstream artists, were you ever into Limp Bizkit?
Yeah, I still am. We were actually just playing them in the van a couple of days ago. We have a Limp Bizkit Pandora station, and we rock that. Yeah, we're fans of nu metal and kind of crappy music, I guess.
What
sometimes.
about Big Dumb Face or Blacklight Burns, Wes Borland's projects?
Have never really listened to it, honestly. But Wes Borland did a remix of one of our songs off our last album.
Hounds of Anubis.
Yep, and we thought that was really cool just because of the Limp Bizkit association. We were like, well, at least he knows who The Word Alive is.
Did you ever speak to him personally about the remix?
We did not, but we were told that he was a fan of the band and he really wanted to do that song in particular, so I was really excited about it.
I totally had a brain fart. So we're talking about Wes Borland, Blacklight Burns is pretty sick. You should check out Blacklight Burns.
I will. I didn't even know he had some other stuff going on, because I know he did... what was he? He did From First to Last for a little while, and that's the last thing I heard him doing, actually. And then before he went back with Limp for their like reunion tour thing. But I didn't know he had other stuff either. I'll have to check that out.
So The Word Alive, you guys have toured with a lot of different people throughout the years. Straight from the Path, Every Time I Die in Australia, Upon a Burning Body, the list goes on. Any tour stories from those?
Our band as a whole, it's funny because we have stories. We have things that we've done, or we have things that have happened to the band that either suck or are awesome, but it's just kind of all flows into one, and it's hard to narrow down. We've had the whole. We went to Florida to record a CD, and one of the dudes we became friends with, we ended up taking him back with us to Arizona, and he lived with me and a couple of the other guys for a little while. He was just like, hey, I want to come on tour with you guys and move in with you, and we were like, sure, we'll take you across the country. We don't know you. You can move in with us. There's always random things. We've hit a bridge with our bandwagon in New York City and tore off the top of our roof.
Oh wow! Slept in the back of U-Hauls.
Slept in the back of U-Hauls.
Hit a deer.
Got sick. Hit a deer.
Your tour manager almost flipped the van when he fell asleep.
Yep, our old tour manager CJ almost flipped the van, and our trailer hit a guardrail, and it kind of slammed us back down. So yeah, crazy stuff has happened, but to us it's just kind of touring and it's normal.
Life Cycles comes out on July 3rd.
Correct.
When you met Joey Sturgis for the first time, speaking of the record, what were the objectives? What do you guys talk about?
Well, Joey actually, the first time we had met him when I did guest vocals for We Came as Romans to Plant a Seed album, we stopped in and he was like, I'd really like to do you guys' album. We were already booked with Andrew Wade for Deceiver, which we were stoked with, but always in the back of our mind we were like, Joey has a lot of elements to his recording process that would be beneficial for our band and our sound. And just how dynamic it is, and he's very good at the mixing and making everything kind of stand out so you can hear everything and all the parts. When Joey called me a few weeks before we went into the studio, he just wanted to see how prepared we were, and we went over a lot of the things we had already done, and he was very stoked. And by the time we got there and we started showing him the material we had, he was just blown away, and he told us that we were one of the bands that made him love why he does what he does. And so that was a huge honor, because he's done a lot of great CDs and he's worked with a lot of great bands in our genre, so to be one of his favorite bands he's ever recorded, it definitely means a lot.